The official version of the 7/7 bombings was published in May 2006 in the form of a Home Office narrative of events. It was written by an anonymous civil servant who made numerous assumptions and provided virtually no evidence, sources, or references. It did include a 7-point list claiming to be key evidence that these were coordinated suicide bombings. In each case, there are reasons to doubt this evidence. 1. DNA has identified the four at the 4 separate bomb sites. The impact on their bodies suggests that they were close to the bombs. None of the 4 alleged bombers were pronounced dead at the bomb sites. The descriptions of the recovered bodies do not match the descriptions of the forensic anthropologist who later examined the bodies and determined that the men were close to the explosions. 2. 3 of the men, Khan, Tanweer and Hussein, have so far been forensically linked to the suspected bomb factory at 18 Alexandra Grove. The men were linked to various trivial or inconclusive items in the alleged bomb factory. They were not linked to the plastic tubs of sludge that supposedly made up the main explosive. The tubs mostly contained a mixture that did not have explosive properties. 3. The car in which 3 of the men travelled from Leeds to Luton contained explosive devices and other material consistent with bomb making. None of the men were forensically linked to these other explosive devices, and the items consistent with bomb making are consistent with many other activities. The suggestion that they assembled their bombs in the boot of the car in Luton Station car park, in front of CCTV cameras and members of the public, is ridiculous. 4. The 4 were identified together by CCTV at various points before the bombings, carrying large and heavy rucksacks, consistent with bombs of the size and nature used in the attacks. The CCTV was not released until 3 years after the bombings, and only shows the 4 travelling from Leeds to Luton and then to London. It does not show them boarding the tube trains or travelling on them. It does not show Hasib Hussein boarding or travelling on the number 30 bus. In most cases, the official excuse for this is that the CCTV was not working. 5. Witness accounts suggest 2 of the men were fiddling in their rucksacks shortly before the explosions. One of these witnesses, Richard Jones, saw a man on the wrong deck of the bus and has given a variety of descriptions as to what the man was wearing. At the 7/7 inquests, he said that he had never claimed to have actually seen the bomber. The other witness, Danny Biddle, was very badly injured in the explosion and was in a coma for weeks. His description of an Asian man fiddling with a small rucksack on his lap does not fit with point 4, the CCTV showing the men carrying large rucksacks. The key evidence contradicts itself. 6. There is no evidence at the bomb sites of remote detonation, nor of any material at the bomb factory which would suggest that they intended to construct remote detonators. The fact that Hussein seems to have bought a battery that morning may provide further indication that they were using self-detonating devices. There is no evidence at the bomb sites of manual detonation, or of the type of explosive used, or of the precise locations of the explosions within the carriages. Hussein may have bought a battery, but he may not have bought a battery. In any case, this proves nothing. 7. There is a video statement by Khan shown on the Al Jazeera television network on 1st September, and separately, a last will and testament indicating his intention to martyr himself through a terrorist attack. The video statement by Khan makes no mention of martyrdom, or suicide bombing, or of carrying out terrorist attacks. It is not known when it was made, or where, or why.
I'm sure by now the media's painted a suitable picture of me.
The single page of Khan's will that has been made available does mention the word Shaheed, which can refer to martyrdom, though it also has other meanings. The word Shaheed is used in a paragraph Khan wrote to his daughter, saying how he was the first to give her pocket money and feed her ice cream. This is not the confession of a would-be suicide bomber. The narrative did not mention a different video that Khan made where he said goodbye to his baby daughter. Even relatives of the 7/7 victims have expressed how difficult it is to reconcile this video with the idea that Khan was a fanatical suicide terrorist.
I could not measure up this person that seemed to be loving and compassionate. This person on the video looked ordinary, normal, trustworthy, decent. And that filled me with a fear.
I've spoken to Mr. Blair, and the first words I said to him, you were the cause of all of this. If you hadn't gone to war in Iraq, there would have been no bomb.
You blame him for the death of your son?
Yes, I do blame him for the death of my son. I blame that's right.
So I totally understand, particularly in the tragic circumstances of people still grieving and mourning and angry about the victims of this, why they might want a public inquiry. But my worry, and why I think it would not be responsible to do it, is that you end up diverting this vast amount of energy and resource into something that is, I'm afraid, in the end going to tell you what we already know, which is that these 4 individuals went and committed this act.